Welcome to Chapo Sports, nobody's favorite sports channel where we do the thinking so you don't have to. Today we're talking about the top 10 teams in the NFL after week 1. Let's just get right into it and talk about who is the best. Number 10, we have the Los Angeles Rams. They beat the Seattle Seahawks 30-13, a divisional win. A good performance, a good win margin. Hard to take anything away from these Rams. They were not expected to do anything this season. There had been a little bit of hype behind Seattle, so for them to come out week 1 and just get that W, great for them. We'll see how the NFC West shakes out. Number 9, the Green Bay Packers. I was as skeptical as anyone. I have no faith in the Packers this season. I thought their dynasty ended the second Rodgers was out of the building. But in the Jordan Love era, they start off strong. They go into Chicago, punch them in the mouth, win a divisional game, 38-20. It was a lot more dominant than that score suggests. I watched it. The Packers, they might be making some noise this year in what could turn out to be a pretty competitive NFC North. Number 8, the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars beat the Colts 31-21. They had a good showing. Trevor Lawrence put up some good numbers. They went against the Colts, who aren't really favored to do anything good. But, I mean, you couldn't expect too much from the Colts this season because of a rookie quarterback as well. Even so, Jacksonville went in, got a solid win. That lands them at number 8. Number 7. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's see. The Eagles beat the Pats 25-20. It was a very competitive game. But the runners-up to the Super Bowl came out. They got the win. They did what they needed to do. They looked good on all sides of the ball. The Eagles could very well be looking at another. They're a shoo-in for the playoffs. Let's just get that out there. But they could be looking at another Super Bowl run very, very soon. Number 6. Who do we got? We've got the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens beat the Texans. The Texans aren't very an impressive team this season. They're not very impressive of a team ever. But they took the biggest swings this offseason, and they turned out, I guess, to be the biggest misses. Maybe that's not fair. It's only week 1. We'll see how things develop. But the Ravens beat them 25-9. That's a pretty solid win margin. Lamar got paid. He's not exactly performing to what I think his restructured contract would warrant, but a win's a win. I probably favor the Ravens to be in the playoffs. We'll see. I don't know if they'll win the AFC North, but they will, in my opinion, be in the playoffs. Let's see who we're looking at for number 5. San Francisco 49ers. The Niners beat the Steelers 30-7. That's a pretty solid win margin, about as dominant as you can be in the NFL. And they just went out there and did it with style. They made the Steelers look bad. They ended the Steelers season before it even began, or before it even had the chance to really begin. Anyway, San Francisco, they're looking like a favorite for the NFC again. They might run into some troubles with the aforementioned Rams, but we'll see. We'll see if the Rams win this week was a week 1 fluke or if it is a trend throughout the season. I still favor the Niners to win the West. Number 4, the Miami Dolphins. Did anyone look better than the Miami Dolphins this week? Honestly, Miami beat the Chargers, who the Chargers are perpetually the team that's on the outside looking in. Miami beat them 36-34. I mean, it was probably the best quarterback match we saw this week. Good old Justin Herbert versus Tua Tagovailoa. Mind my pronunciation, but the Dolphins are looking good. People had their doubts about Tua with his health concerns, but he went out there and he put on a show. So, on to number 3. These are the real contenders. The Dallas Cowboys. It pains me to say, but the Cowboys are doing well. And they're doing extraordinarily well. They went week 1 with a divisional matchup and absolutely cleaned house. They went into New York and embarrassed them. They went into New York and made the Giants look like a college team, and not a good one at that. 40-0, how much more dominant of a win can you really ask for? It's the biggest point differential of all week 1 games. So, I know what you're asking. Al, why aren't they number 1 then? Well, here's why. 1, they beat the Giants, so calm down, keep it in your trousers. 2, even though the Cowboys put up 40 points, Dak still played pretty bad. Dak Prescott, when are you going to get it together, man? Let's move on to number 2, the Shockers. The dark horse of this entire list is at number 2. The Cleveland Browns. The Browns beat the Cincinnati Bengals 24-3. Deshaun Watson went out there, put on a show, got a divisional win in week 1 against the Bengals. The Bengals, who any given year now with Joe Burrow are favored for the playoffs, if not to be in the Super Bowl. And I'm so happy that the Browns put them in their place. I'm very hype on the Browns right now. They made easy work of what is one of the toughest teams in the NFL, and they did it by a big margin. We'll see if this is a fluke or if it continues on, but with week 1 being the only thing we have to look at, then I can confidently say this was probably the most impressive win of all week 1, landing them a very well-deserved number 2 spot. But number 1, you know it, you probably guessed it at the beginning of the video, we're talking about the Detroit Lions. Guys, when's the last time the Lions, the Browns, and the Cowboys were the top of anything? Well, right now, as of week 1, they are the top of the NFL. The Lions went into Arrowhead and beat Patrick Mahomes. It was close. It was only a 1-point win. I hear you, but it's the Chiefs. Much like the Browns are here because they beat, or much like the Browns are in spot number 2 because they beat the Bengals, the Lions are here because they beat the Chiefs, the reigning and defending Super Bowl champions. Hats off to you, Lions. You are the favorite of the NFC North right now, and you are looking like you could make a good run in the playoffs. That's all we got today. Tell me, who do you think are the top 10? Do you agree with my picks? Do you disagree? Anyone I missed out? Let me know. And if your team has not been mentioned in this top 10 list or the bottom 5 list, congratulations. That means you are entirely irrelevant to the conversation. So, I'll see you guys next time. Next week we'll have some new rankings. But until then, bye.